Hey there, it is my last tutorial in my scheduled series anyways. I am still waiting on my subscribers to let me know what my final tutorial will be, but all of September I have been putting out tutorials about how to live more sustainably. So how to use your food waste. I also wrote a post about it, but I did some tutorials about how to actually make broth or make slaw, just different ways that you can use up your food scraps so that they don't end up in a landfill somewhere, creating methane, which is super bad for the environment. Um, and things like how to mend, how to fix your clothing that you already have, how to make on paper towels, just a whole lot of different things to help you come up with some ideas to do things more sustainably. And all of my content this month is no-so. So my daughter, who is really into sustainability, she's actually going to college to study it. She was like, please make these no-so, because while I sew, a lot of other people don't, or you don't have access to a sewing machine, or you really just don't feel confident with that skill. But there's a lot of things that you can do without having to know how to sew. So today, what I'm going to be working on is using your clothes to make other things. So we're going to upcycle some t-shirts today. I'm going to show you some really cool ways to do it. It's super, super simple. Probably I'll talk at the beginning of this video longer than the tutorial will be. But it's an awesome thing to do because if you read my piece about fast fashion, then you already know that clothes that you donate aren't necessarily rehomed. A lot of them end up in landfills. There's a lot of cloth, a lot of fabric in landfills, and it's really unsafe, partly because they don't break down properly. The dyes in the fabrics are really dangerous. They leach into groundwater. It's a big problem. So it's really, really important to rehome your clothes or reuse your clothes rather than just throwing them out. If you do donate them, I suggest that you take them to a consignment shop or somewhere that you know they're actually going to get placed. And I always recommend that you shop first at secondhand stores or thrift stores. That way, you can be certain that you will be buying something that you know did not come right from a fast fashion factory. It might have originated there, but you're not contributing more to that particular issue. So that is my suggestion. One of the great ways to rehome your clothes is to host a clothing swap. They're a lot of fun. I have heard of women doing them and having a great time. It's an awesome way to like update your wardrobe and get some new fresh pieces without having to shop, without having to spend a bunch of money. So that's fabulous. Or it's a great idea for kids, like moms with kids, to get together, the moms in your mom group or the moms at your daycare, your kids' kindergarten class, whatever, and you all bring clothes that your kids have outgrown. And then what you do is you trade. So you get the next bigger size while somebody who has a kid who isn't in that size yet gets your clothes. So it really helps to create, one, a great sense of community, but two, to prevent those clothes from just going to waste. I happen to love clothing consignment stores. I really love thrift shopping. I just think it's a lot of fun. It's like a great adventure to try to find a treasure in a thrift store. My one of my kids actually just bought a leather jacket like we all had in the late 80s, early 90s. Bought one of those leather jackets for $12, and it's in amazing condition. It's like brand new. The lining is all intact and everything. It had a hole in one of the pockets. That was it. So, I mean, you can find some great stuff at thrift stores. I highly recommend you go there. It's super trendy now to like have some vintage pieces in your wardrobe. Find pieces you love. Spend more on pieces that are classic that you'll have forever. Buy them from sustainable manufacturers, but also you can always supplement with clothing swaps and thrift store shopping or consignment shopping. But today, with no further ado, we're going to start our project. I already started one a little bit so that I can kind of show you the next steps. But basically all I did, okay, so one of my kids went through their wardrobe before leaving for college and pulled out all their t-shirts that they had collected all the years and never got rid of, because like some people just love t-shirts, and some people love concert, like I love concert t-shirts, but I just don't know what to do with them. So anyways, this is, see, it's a top that one of my kids was given by a friend at school. and it says Bob Dylan, or it says Dylan on it, and it has a bunch of Bob Dylan song lyrics on it. Anyways, but they were going to donate it, and I don't want it to end up in waste. And I actually, one of my other kids, I know would love this. So I'm going to make this one, and then I'm going to take it out to my daughter in Arizona because she likes band stuff. She likes all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and straighten this out because it's not quite folded right. You know, it was in a kid drawer, so it's kind of twisted. And I want to line up this whole bottom seam so that it's laying straight. And I want the stitched edge, that's the side, to be my end. So both ends. And then I'm just going to lay it down. I got a piece of paper here because I noticed when I was doing this before that the glue tends to run over. So you could use, this is just a big piece of scrap paper. It's actually from my desk calendar. And I use a lot of scrap paper for, you know, taking notes when I'm doing research for my posts and different things like that. But I happen to have this piece of scrap paper, so I am using it for this. If you don't have scrap paper, you could use whatever other thing you might have, like if you have parchment. You could actually just do this right on your countertop. I'm doing it on a wood desk, so I don't want to get the glue on the desk. But if you did it on your countertop, and the glue got on your counter, you would just wipe it off with a damp cloth. It'll come right off. So this is my flexible, stretchable fabric glue, which I talk about basically in all my videos. It's on my blog on the Products You Love page. I also have it when I put the tutorial up on my blog page, which is probably how you're seeing it. There is always a little supply list, and I put the link on there to make it easy. I get it from Amazon, and I actually buy 3-packs because it's cheaper that way, and I know I'm going to use it. So instead of spending like, I don't know, I think it's like $6 or $7 for one, and it's like 14 or 15 for 3. I just get the 3. Anyways, so what you're going to do is just, I'm going to make sure you can see me. Let me turn this down a little. Okay. So what you're going to do is just flip up the top layer so that you have the bottom layer laying nice and flat on your surface, whatever it is. And you're just going to spread glue all along the bottom from seam to seam. So you're going to just put a line of glue. Now, I like to put it right on. Oh, geez, I'm doing this backward. I'm sorry, guys. You got to flip it inside out first. Jeez, oh, Pete. See? Even when you've been crafting for a long time, sometimes you forget steps. Okay, so it's inside out. Sorry. So, all right. Now that it's inside out, because you want the glue to go, actually what's going to be on the outside of your shirt, but then it's not going to show when you make your bag. If you do it the wrong way, don't worry. You're just going to have the end of your bag showing, or you'll have an inside out bag. So, all right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just spread a bead of glue from seam to seam. Make sure it's nice and flat. Spread a bead of glue from seam to seam. Alrighty, and I like to do it on the doubled up part of the fabric. Hopefully you can see this. I like to do it on the doubled up part of the fabric because it's a little bit thicker, and the glue doesn't like soak through as easily because there's like the 2 layers of fabric there. So there we go. Got a whole bead of glue, and you can see it. Look at that. So then I take my top one, and I'm just going to line it up to the bottom all along. Now you don't really want to be pulling this because you don't want to stretch your fabric. You just want to lay it nice and flat on top there. And then once you have it pretty flat, you're just going to pat it down. And some of the glue is going to squeeze out from the bottom because, you know, it just is. It's a little messy. So that's why I said you might want to do it on paper or do it on a hard surface that it'll wipe off. I have been doing this actually on my kitchen counter. I find it's easier sometimes to work on my kitchen counter just because I'm upstairs in my house right now, and sometimes I don't want to carry all the supplies back and forth, or, that kind of thing. So, or my family is, watching I'm a little antsy, so I don't like to sit and watch TV. It kind of ends up being anxiety provoking to me. So I like to do little projects while watching TV. So a lot of times while we're watching a family movie or a show or whatever, we love that Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, for example, or we watch some Netflix shows with our son, or, that just some little family TV time here and there. I like to do projects, so I will stand sometimes at the kitchen counter and do things like this. So it took my husband a really long time to get used to this. So anyways, once you're done with that, see, it's glued together. You're going to hang this up somewhere. So you could hang it over your shower rod. I just hung it on the back of a chair. That's totally fine. You could put it on a clothing drying rack, whatever you would like. Okay. So, and you're going to leave it, like that overnight. Now, I could have started with the second stuff I'm going to show you, but I wanted to start with the glue. So this one I left overnight and it is glued. And then what I'm going to do is flip it. So, it's kind of hard to flip it through the neck hole. See the neck hole? I actually did this with my husband's t-shirt because he likes to get rid of his t-shirts. Like, he likes to get new t-shirts when they start to get too dingy or whatever. And I don't think anybody's buying like undershirts from the Salvation Army. So this is a good thing to do with them. So when you're done, go ahead and line up your shoulders, okay? And lay your t-shirt out. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start with the opening for my bag. So this is going to be the top opening for my bag. And I'm going to go ahead and start with that. This is not precise. You don't have to be precise at all. I'm going to use pinking shears because it'll keep it from fraying as quickly. You could use regular scissors. I might actually I might switch to regular scissors. We'll see. But I'm going to go a couple inches out from the hole, from the neck hole. And I'm just going to cut straight down. And then I'm going a little deeper than the neck hole actually for my opening. And then I'm just cutting across. You can see that well. Now, please remember that if you're having trouble seeing this, or if you just are like, wow, I don't understand, or I just want some more information about that, you can leave a comment and I will get back to you and answer any questions you have. You could do this with really any shirt you have, to be honest. So, for the purpose of filming, I'm just going to start from the other side because it's going to be easier for you to see than if I contort myself around. So, all right. So now I have that opening. That's going to be like the top of your bag. Okay. So, and these shoulder pieces are your straps. Now, this one I've already done. I've already cut this arm off with the regular scissors. So, I did it so that I could show you how to make snack bags out of the sleeves. So this one, you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to cut the arm off. Okay? There we go. Arms off. And I am going to go ahead and do this one with the pinking shears because I did it earlier with the regular scissors because I was trying something out. These are actually a really great thing to like donate. They're awesome for donating to like your kid's classroom. For the kids, they can decorate the ones with the, like these white ones are great for kids to decorate. For like you could even do this as a craft at a kid's party. They're so easy to do. And they're not really like strict, but you could do this as a craft at a kid's party. And then they could all decorate their own bags. So you could have different fabric, paint, or markers, or whatever. I like to do these at my kids' birthday parties sometimes with actual just kid t-shirts, and then all the kids like sign them or write notes to each other. It's really fun for like a 5th grade graduation, for example, or a kindergarten graduation even, that you could pre-make these for kindergarten graduation and give them to the kids to decorate. So now I have it basically, see, it kind of almost looks like a tank top. So I'm going to flip it the right way out now. And I'm going to go ahead and just shake it. Now, check this out. Now, This is like a nice little tote bag. See, I can shove it over my arm like this. I can make, I could actually, if I wanted to, I could make the armholes bigger. Like if I was like, oh, I want that to be bigger. Oh, I want that to be, you know, smaller, whatever. So I'm going to, watch me do this. Shove a few things in here. So you just shove your things in there. Makes a nice little bag. You can put whatever you want in it. You could take it grocery shopping. You could make them into produce bags if you wanted to. I mean, really, they're awesome for anything. So that is your little tote bag. And I mean, you can imagine if you prettied that up and decorated that, when it's done with the, when it's done with like a colorful bag, that kind of thing, it's going to be so much fun. I'm going to do one also with this top. This is another one of my kids' top. And I mean, how cute is that? That's going to make the cutest little bag. So, I mean, you can just go ahead and do that and make all these bags out of your t-shirts. You have them for grocery shopping. You have them for general shopping. But one of the nicest things about them is actually that they just, you can fold them up or wad them up and shove them in your purse or your glove compartment in your car. They can become really small. You could take one and put a whole bunch inside to take to the grocery store because they're super easy to handle. You can even like tie the handles together so that they don't, you know, come open. Or you can tie them onto the strap of your purse so that they're easier to carry around. Because since they're nice, lightweight cotton fabric, they are super simple. I'm telling you right now, my daughter wanted some of these like types of cloth cotton bags to take to the farmer's market with her last year for Christmas. And I bought some. I bought a set of 3 of these things for her. They were all in various sizes. I bought 3 of these for her, and it was like, I think it was like $25, you guys. Like, how crazy is that to spend $25 on something you can make out of things you have in your house? So, and then any size you have. So like you could make little ones out of kids' clothes. If you wanted little ones because you wanted to use them for herbs when you're shopping, things like that, you could go to the Salvation Army and buy little like kid t-shirts and make them out of that. So that's totally a thing. These, the sleeves, I wanted something to do with them. So I made a little snack bag thing out of them. And what I did, y'all, is I just went ahead, I'm going to cut it with this. I should have come with these. I just went ahead and cut the seam off like this. Okay. And that is the bottom of the bag. I guess I should have lined that up. So that's the bottom of the bag. And then I went through the same process where I glued it together. Okay, exactly the same way. I just glued it together at the bottom where I cut just now. Okay, so I glued this together right here, and then I flipped it the right way once it was dry. So now I've got that. See, that's like a little sleeve. But I cut out this little stitching seam right here. Now, you could also, instead of cutting that out, you could just use a ribbon. But I cut mine out. Let me see if I can find it here. If not, I'll just cut another one. And I cut it out so that I could use it. There it is. It's inside. So I cut it out. That's just a little stitching seam. And then I'm going to use it as a drawstring. So I'm going to put a little safety pin. If you guys have never tried that trick, you put a safety pin in it, and that makes it easy to track. Somewhere on the sleeve seam, I'm just going to cut a little hole. I'm going to cut it here, I think. And then I'm going to just feed my string in there. And again, like I said, you could use a ribbon if you wanted to. And I'm just going to keep pushing and pulling until I get it all the way through. And it's going to make like a little drawstring for this to close it up. So, at any rate, and then you have like a little matching tiny bag for odds and ends or change or snacks. Like these things are actually perfect for goldfish, crackers, or little things like that for your kid's lunchbox. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to have these little bitty bags, and you can save yourself a lot of hassle and money, and keep a lot of plastic. Keep yourself from using plastic by using things like this instead of the snack size Ziploc baggies, because those are like really. I mean, I have a Ziploc baggie thing. I use them a lot, and I like them. I'm trying to get rid of them right now, so I'm always looking for ways to do it. My daughter, oh, actually, I needed to do this here. Okay, you have to do it at the seam, y'all. You can't do it wherever you want, because otherwise you can't get it back out. So anyways, my daughter was telling me to use like little cotton bags, and I had never thought of that. So I was pretty excited about the idea of doing that. So that's why I'm kind of sharing this with you guys, because like, why not use every part of your shirt, and then you have a little bag to shove into your big bag. So I'm always down for that. Anything that's like matchy and cute like that, I'm a big fan. So at any rate, it's funny because when you start to craft, you really do realize like, oh, you just need to be a little more flexible sometimes about your vision, because sometimes it doesn't go exactly as planned, and that is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I just shot a piece of cotton all the way across the room. So at any rate, you're going to pull this through. I just lost my pin. That happens. You guys, it totally happens. You're going to pull this through though. I will finish and show you. And then I will have my handy dandy little snack bag. So at any rate, there will be one more tutorial this month. And I'm not sure what it will be about, because I put it out there for my subscribers to pick a subject for me to do a tutorial on. I hope it's like, I'm sure it'll be something I can figure out, but I hope it's nothing too crazy. And I want to just make sure that you all know that I am very accessible via social media. And if you ever have something that you're like thinking, boy, I wish I knew how to do that. I wish somebody would do a tutorial about that, or would post about that. I recently got a comment asking for a post about cooking oils, which will be coming up in the near future. So if you're ever thinking that though, go ahead and reach out. Post a comment on the actual blog piece that raises a question, or even posting a note or a comment on my social media. I will get it, and even if I'm not ready to write that piece right that moment, or do that tutorial right that moment, I will answer your question. So you can always count on that. Even if it's completely unrelated, I will answer your questions and let you know. I can typically figure out most things. So if I don't know, I bet I know somebody who does, and I'm happy to refer you to somebody who does. But a lot of times I can figure out stuff, or I already use that in my life. And sometimes you forget to like share things that you just kind of do as like a matter of routine. And so it does help if you guys just write in and let me know what you want to learn about. So I am on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. I'll be coming to Tumblr soon. And my handle is Upcycled Adulting, except on Twitter, because they have the character limit. It's Upcycled Adultin with no G. But I put different content on all of my social media. So if you are following me on one and not the other, you're not seeing all the content. And that's okay. I put different things on different social media. And I am always available on social media. So you can always reach out to me there. And you can always reach out to me on the blog itself. I'm also on YouTube, which is where you're watching this video probably. But YouTube has a big long thing, so it's better to just connect. It's different than you get a handle. So anyways, you see this is now a drawstring. You can just tighten it up, and you can tie it closed. This one is actually sticking a little bit, but I would just trim that. Anyways, but you can tighten it up. You can tie it closed. You can tie it both ways if you want to tie it tighter so that it's, a little bit more closed. If you have long sleeves, you guys, You could make those into like little wine sleeves for taking wine to people's houses. Anyways, check that out. Cute little bag, right? And you can put whatever you want in there. So at any rate, that's nice, a nice little snack bag. The other thing you could do if you wanted to is you could actually put the beeswax wrap mix at the top and make it seal that way. You'd want to brush it on the actual inside because it's really thick fabric and it's not gonna soak all the way through probably. So at any rate, you can catch me on all of those social media channels, and I hope you've enjoyed September Sustainability Month and the challenges that have gone along with it, all the tutorials and all the content. Keep watching for October's challenge. Every month we have a challenge. October's challenge is actually Sober October, and it's all about letting go of a habit that's not serving you and taking on a new habit. So it doesn't have to be about drinking or any other kind of addiction. It could, or any addiction, drinking, whatever your thing is. It could be actually just, I want to go to bed earlier and wake up earlier. I want to stop being on my screen so much and spend more time with my family. So it could be anything. This month we have that going on, and if you subscribe to the blog, I'll help you work on your own personal plan to get that in motion. So anyways, I hope to see you soon. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorials. I've enjoyed doing them, and I hope to do many more in the months to come. So keep the ideas coming, and I will keep putting them out. So let me know if you have questions about the t-shirt bags. I hope you love them. If you make some, take pictures and post them for me so that I can see them, because I just think that they're so cool. So anyways, I will talk to you later. Thanks everyone. Bye.